Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Your girl is so stressed right now because I just had, originally I was planning to sit here and do a video exposing my birth chart, exposing my friendships, all of that. And then the night kind of took a turn in a way that I wouldn't have expected it to.
Stuff was effed.
Look at you making it family friendly for me. Basically, as you guys know, I have two dogs. One of them is named Prince. Prince, come here. Okay, well, this one's Prince. He's very excited about his bone right now. The other one is Duke, and he is currently in his crate, and I will explain why to you right now. So I guess technically this is a story time. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Crazy day. I woke up early in the morning to go and get a workout in, and I went to my first dance class with Chachi, and I was just like exhausted. I had been sweating. I'd done basically 2 workouts in a day. So I asked Riley, I said, hey, do you mind just taking Duke and Prince for a walk for me today? This is the route that I normally take them on. You can do whatever you want though, but this is easy. It's guaranteed 25-30-minute walk. Sure, no problem, Jazz. Like, you got it. I'll take him for a walk. Great, so thankful. And I'm getting ready to film this video and Riley's like, okay, Jazz, I'm gonna go out for a little bit. Like, I'll see you in a little while. Cool, sounds good, love you so much. I noticed that for the past hour that I've been home, hour and a half, that Duke has not left the playpen, and he's not that type of dog. He runs, he's playing with Prince, he's chewing toys, he's just having a blast. I mean, he's a puppy, he's like 3 years old. He loves playing. And so I get this instinct, you know, mom instinct, to go and check on him. So I go into the playpen with him and he doesn't move. He just stares at me, super docile and strange and not like himself, and he's just staring at me and his head is kind of like laying on the side. And I was like, whoa, this is not like him, because Duke has issues with aggression. He was a rescue dog before me, and I guarantee that they either heavily neglected him or they really beat him, because he doesn't like to be picked up. He's bit me before, he's drawn blood on me before, he's bit my friends. He's just a very selective dog. He gets really weirded out in certain situations. So I don't know if it was from a lack of exposure or just from, you know, being abused in the past. Normally, I have to proceed with caution when I come into the playpen. I kind of just like start playing with him. That's the only way. If I start playing, then he's like, oh, okay, this is all fun time. Or I just kind of like sit there with him and let him get used to my presence. But when I'm in there, he's just not doing anything at all. I'm like touching his paws. He's not reacting. He's not growling. And again, this is all not normal behavior for Duke. He's just being super duper docile. So in that moment, I was like, okay, something is not wrong. Riley had been gone for maybe 3 minutes. He must have just pulled out of the parking garage. And I called him and I was like, Riley, I need you to come home right now. I'm freaking out. And he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, Duke's being weird. So he comes back in 3 minutes later. Honestly thought I was about to have a panic attack. Riley comes inside and I'm just like, I'm freaking out. Then Riley's like, okay, I'm gonna grab him some food. So he gets some food, we mix it up, and Duke is very food motivated. Put food in front of him, he's like, oh yeah. He just like automatically is eating it. He's so excited and he scarfs down his food in like 20 seconds. When I brought out the food, Duke just started wobbling over to the side. His tail was tucked between his legs. He was trying to put his face in the food, but he was like, he had no depth perception. Oh, I completely forgot about this part. This is very important. When I initially went into the playpen, this is what made me realize that something was wrong, aside from the docileness, is that when I went to pet him, he just like violently was twitching. My pets are my babies. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I post them all day long. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this is not normal. It made me think that maybe something traumatic had happened to him. Maybe Riley had dropped something and he was just super sensitive, or I don't know. I don't know what was happening. So when he was doing that flinching, I was like, that's when I called Riley and was like, something is not right. Duke is twitching. So anyway, okay, you know that now. So we put the food down and he's like falling into the food. He's allowing me to pick him up, which he doesn't allow me to do unless he jumps up and his paws are on my legs. Then I scoop from under his arms and pick him up. Any other way, if I'm scooping him, anything, not okay. So in this moment, I'm like, my dog is having a stroke, or he's suffering from poison, or I just, oh my God. I'm just freaking out right now at this point. I just knew that I needed to take him to the vet. So I called an emergency vet nearby. I found one of the best rated ones on Yelp, because you always got to make sure that you find the best place. You know, just vet places can be seedy and you don't want a wrong diagnosis and your dog's getting even more sick, or, you know, whatever the case was. I didn't know how serious it was. So I call them, they say bring him in, and me and Riley get in the car. I'm holding him. I'm basically crying. I'm having an actual meltdown because all I'm thinking is that this is it. This is how it's gonna end, because I was just in this type of situation maybe a year ago with Herman when he had actually suffered from a stroke. He was a 16-year-old dog. He was very ill, special needs. He was definitely at the end of his life, but it just was too, it was like PTSD. I was just thinking of that exact moment and watching him and going to the hospital. And so I just asked Riley to go with me. Bless his soul, he dropped what he was gonna do so that he could go with me and be there for me and drive for me so that I could just hold Duke and focus on him. So we get there and the girl goes, okay, so what's going on? I tell them all the symptoms and she says, is there a chance that he got into marijuana? And I'm thinking, no, there's absolutely no way. There's no way that my dog got into any marijuana. And she goes, okay, I'm not saying it came from you. These symptoms that he's showing are very similar to a dog that has gotten into some form of weed. And I'm just thinking, what? How could that even be possible? She goes, did he go for a walk? And then me and Riley both look at each other and he goes, yeah, Duke and Prince just went for a walk with me for a half hour, maybe an hour ago. She goes, okay, I'm not saying that's what it is. It could be a bunch of other things because there are things that can happen, I guess, with the ear canal. I can't remember what it's called now. It's something where the ear canal can cause distortion or it could have been a stroke. There's just all these different things. It's like Pet MD, you know, WebMD, Pet MD. I'm just still freaking out. That doesn't mean anything to me because still in my head, I'm just thinking Duke wouldn't just pick something up off the street and just start eating it. I walk them all the time and he sniffs things for sure, but I don't just see him picking up things and chewing it. They take him to the back. I start crying. About 10 minutes later, they call us back and the vet she goes, your dog is basically the textbook image of a dog that has gotten into weed and is just incredibly stoned right now. And I'm just thinking, everything in my life has led me to this moment. To be told by a vet that my dog ate weed and is now high and paranoid. She goes, you know, all you can really do now is we can pump some fluids in him and let him go home and rest, put him in some dim lights, put him in his crate if he has one, let him just cuddle up in there because he's probably really paranoid. And yeah, your dog ingested weed. If symptoms change throughout the night, obviously let us know. Because then I was like, well, can he die? Can he die from eating it? She's like, I don't know how much he ate, but I could tell you in this area, we get cases like this 5-6 times a day. And I'm just, what do you mean you get this 5-6 times a day? How are people just leaving their weed all over the streets? The people are just coming in like, hey, my dog is dying. And then they're like, no, he's just high. So I stopped crying. I agreed to have them put fluids in him. I felt bad. I've never seen him like that before. The reason that I'm sharing it with you guys is one, because this just happened. It's fresh on my mind and Duke is in his crate just resting right now. And I found this story to be rather interesting and something that I was uninformed on. Guys, if you have a dog, which majority of people do these days, if you don't have one, you're sus. Please make sure to pay attention to your surroundings when you see your dog digging through stuff. Riley was feeling guilty because he was saying, I was watching Prince poop and what if, while he was pooping, you know, Duke got into something. I just told him, you know, I mean, it's not his fault. I was completely unaware of this type of thing and Riley was probably just texting on his phone while Prince was pooping. But now that I know about it, me and Riley are both gonna be so collectively aware of what we see them snooping around in because it could just be nestled in the grass. It could be in a pile of dirt and while one dog is doing something, you're watching them picking up their poop, the other dog could be doing something else. Just always be aware because people are ruthless out here and they don't care about the fact that you have a little dog sniffing around with this little cute booping nose, sniffing out his surroundings and trying to pick up things. I also had argued to the nurse and the vet that Duke isn't the type to eat anything and she said, but there's something about the fragrance of marijuana that dogs are very attracted to and appeal to and they will eat it if they smell it. Just please be aware of that. It could be lethal if they eat too much of it. If you guys are unaware, common symptoms are basically everything is intensified for them. So if you move your hand towards them, it feels as if you're rushing towards their face. Even like I was back here and Duke was where the camera is, a good 4 feet away and he was flinching. So everything feels intensified. Loud sounds are intense. When I was closing the door, he was flinching and tensing up. Those are big signs. If he's wobbling and almost walking around like he's drunk, that's another sign. But again, still get your dog checked just in case they got into something much worse or if they're having that ear canal issue that I was talking about or if they're having a stroke. These symptoms can be so broad and matched to so many other things. So yeah, just always be aware of your surroundings. Don't let your little babies get into any marijuana. One of the nurses actually told me that a few days ago, a little old lady, she was probably 80 years old, came in with her dog who was just going ballistic. She had just walked the dog around a local park and she was saying that her dog has never acted this neurotic and crazy. They end up doing a drug panel and the dog had gotten into cocaine. This is not an uncommon thing, which is just terrifying to me because especially cocaine, a dog's little heart can just, it can beat too hard and it can have a heart attack. So just please be careful. This is something I feel everybody needs to be aware of because this is apparently just a thing now that people have to deal with. And now I'm petrified to ever, honestly hope this never happens ever again. But hey, on a brighter note, Duke is back home now. He's safe with me. There was a super cute vet at the vet. I mean, mad cute. And we had kind of, whatever, you know, there was a little spark, one might say. And he's texting me right now. Yeah, today has been a day. I feel that I'm just, like, a huge weight is lifted off my shoulders because literally 2 hours ago I thought that my dog was dying, and now he's just in the room with dim lighting. I'm gonna put on some classical music for him and he will be back to a normal, healthy Duke, you know, hopefully by the morning. I had put out tweets. I was like, pray for Duke. I don't know what's going on with my baby. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I was crying. I was shaking with him just to find out he is blazed out of his mind. With all of that said, you guys, that is going to be how I'm gonna end this video because I don't think there's anything else left to say. Let me know if you've ever had a similar experience like this happen with your pets or a friend's pet or anything, because I felt terrible and just so sick to my stomach. But again, relieved to know that I'm not the only one who's been through this. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was informative for you guys, and I hope it helps some of you guys out there. It's a scary situation to be in when you don't know what's happening, but it's quite relieving and kind of silly when you realize what it really is. Just give your dog lots of love and cuddles and also some space to kind of just go through their little journey trip, mental trip. But I love you guys so much, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to throw the video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, obviously make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share your stories down in the comment section. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Besitos. Bye.